Hi, it's Mel and today I'm filming my February book haul. I accidentally got a lot of books in the month of February because I went to London, and when I go to London I buy a lot of books. And I keep saying that I'm gonna stop buying loads of books, but I just can't. The first book is The Traitor Game by B.R. Collins. I know nothing about this book. I think it's about a boy who comes up with a fantasy world in his head and then he shares it with his friend, but that might be wrong. The second book is one that I've seen a lot of people on BookTube talking about like all the time, and that is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. This is a fairy tale retelling of Cinderella where she's a cyborg and there's a prince, and it's in this series called The Lunar Chronicles. The next book is one that I've seen a lot of people talk about but I don't actually know what it's about, and that is 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. From the blurb it seems like there's different dimensions that you can travel through and sci-fi probably. The next book is Far From You by Tessa Sharp. All that the blurb says is that there's this girl called Mina who is murdered but the killer is not in prison. So the next book is My True Love Gave to Me by loads of authors but edited by Stephanie Perkins. I like books by a lot of the authors that have written things in here, and it's very Christmassy or around New Year's, so I might wait to read this. It's not like I'll have a shortage of books to read though. The next one is kind of a children's one, but it's history and I'm really into history, so, and that is The Horrible Histories, Dreadful Days in History. I was meant to look at this a while ago but I didn't get around to it, but it seems really interesting because I've read the entire book set of Horrible Histories books when I was in primary school. The next book is The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. This is a fantasy standalone novel. I've read Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black and it was amazing. I got it from the library and I really enjoyed it. This has fairy knights and princesses, so it should be good. The next book that I have is also a collection of short stories, but this time instead of focusing around winter and Christmas, it's focusing around Doctor Who. This is a book of 12 stories for the 12 Doctors, written by popular authors. I've read a lot of these authors mainly in class, so it should be good. I have an entire shelf on my bookcase just filled with Doctor Who books. So the next book is kind of a weird book, but it is S by J.J. Abrams and Doug Dorst, and it's written like it's a library book, but it also has a story being told through writing in the margins of the book. The next book is a graphic novel and it is Seconds by Brian Lee O'Malley. I don't know much about this, I just know that it's a really good graphic novel because Caddytastic did a video where she said that this is good for people who read graphic novels or don't read graphic novels or just need new graphic novels. So the next book is a sequel and the second in a duology that I now have, and it is Guardian by Alex London. I read Proxy a while ago and when I saw this in foils I knew that it would be good to get it. The first book is Proxy and it was a dystopian novel following this boy who is basically punished whenever this rich kid did something bad and then he runs away, and I don't know what happens in Guardian but I'm excited to find out. The second to last book that I got in the month of February was Choose Your Own Autobiography by Neil Patrick Harris. I love Neil Patrick Harris, and to be honest, who doesn't? And it's quite a different way of doing a book about yourself. And I've read a few choose your own stories before, but it's probably going to be nothing like this. The last book that I have to show you, and the last book that I bought in the month of February, is These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. This has been described as Titanic in space and with aliens, and I don't quite know what to think about it, but it seems really cool and I really like the cover. So those were all of the books that I bought in the month of February, and bye!